Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunch Break Live. Real talk about food, and food. I am Cari Cruz and today's show is dedicated to healthy recipes for boysenberry pie and chocolate covered cherries. Oh, strawberries. Oh, just look at those. Oh my gosh. They look good enough to eat, don't they? Now, something fascinating about the pie. You know, an hour and a half ago, it was whole, completely whole, untouched. And then when I went in to grab the pie, I realized it had a knife in it and like more than half had been eaten. So clearly, the healthy recipes drew everyone in like, I don't know, flies to honey. Okay, it was just remarkable. So anyway, if you guys are new to the show, I'd like to welcome you in, new viewers. And here's what I'm going to say to you. Are you freaking kidding me? Did you get that? If I made pies and chocolate covered strawberries using healthy recipes, do you know what would happen? I would eat twice as much as the portion stated on the healthy recipe, or probably the whole pie, because after all, it is healthy and it's less fattening, so I can get away with it. And the chocolate covered strawberries, oh, I would totally rationalize those by saying I made the chocolate with Splenda and the strawberries are fruit, and everybody needs fruit in their diet. Right. So, everybody, you know what guys, I'm just going to tell you, this stuff, that's bait. That was bait to get you guys in, to get new viewers to come and go, oh, she's going to be talking about food. Food porn. Let me just tell you what happened to that pie in the kitchen. It was a food orgy. Somebody said there's pie in the kitchen. 5 people descended upon it, and I could tell who ate it because they had little, like, rings around their mouths of the boysenberry pie, which is very much not healthy. I didn't make these. One is Sherry's Berries and one is Marie Callender's, and they are fully loaded. Thank you very much. But you put bait out there and people will come. Did I mention there's 2 diabetics who work here? Yep. And one of those, I'm not going to name names, might have partaken. So here's the thing. This stuff that I showed you that you got a little bit excited about, be honest with me, it's food porn, and it is what you use to overfeed what's eating you. Except it's worse than the real thing. If those things were healthy, it's worse than the real thing because it gives you plausible deniability to consume more of it than the portion stated on the healthy recipe. Don't tell me I am not saying anything that you guys don't believe, because it's true. And sometimes the truth hurts. You do eat more of something when you know that it's healthy because you know you can get away with it. So let's get real. I think this stuff is an excuse, a way to ignore what's really, really eating you. Let me put my glasses on for this. Yesterday, I asked you guys if regain was a sin, and I proceeded to define the word sin from the original Hebrew, which said that it's actually a forgetfulness of self, an absence from conscious purpose, or missing the mark. Well, the interesting thing is Dr. John LaMonaco, now you guys may remember him from Big Medicine, which is a show doctors Garth and Robert Davis did surgery on super morbidly obese people. And Dr. LaMonaco was the plastic surgeon on the program who put people back together again. Okay, so Dr. John LaMonaco added a dimension to the definition I gave you guys yesterday when he commented on the show. I don't know if you watched the whole show, if you just watched the first 0 minutes of it, I'm not sure, but he said he likes looking at the word sin as being without, reasoning that finding out what you need that you're without will help you to find the source of the problem rather than focusing on the symptom. So sin actually in Spanish is pronounced sin, and I'm sure that's where he went with this. Sin means without, and con, or con, interestingly enough, means with. So he is defining it as seen. So to build upon Dr. LaMonaco's terrific addition, I'm gonna take it my own way, and so I'm not gonna like blame this on Dr. LaMonaco. Okay, this is like my take on it. All right, I am going to make a very bold statement. So unlike me, don't you think? Can you live without it? Fill in the blank, whatever it is. Can you live without boysenberry pie and chocolate-covered strawberries? Can you live without it? How many of you said yes, but thought no? How many of you immediately said no and began to panic at the thought of having to live without boysenberry pie, chocolate-covered strawberries, whatever it is that floats your boat? How many of you began to think of other things you can't possibly live without? Soda, bread, chips, candy, cheese, whatever it is that you believe that you need, and so you overfeed. How many of you guys said that? Can't live without it. Sin. Well, let's take a step back, okay? As you guys have heard me say before, my sober recovery began the day I realized I could no longer live with the unhealthy, abusive relationship that I was in. I had it with certain foods, and I knew it. So instead of saying I couldn't live without them, I decided that I knew I didn't have to live with them anymore, and there was peace in my heart, in my soul, in my very being when I realized that and made that statement, because I finally understood that choosing to live without or away from certain foods would allow me to draw closer to, hit the mark of sobriety, abstinence, clear-mindedness, and being present in my recovery. The very opposite of how we talked about sin yesterday. And what Dr. LaMonaco talked about, without that horrible, obsessive, guilty, shameful powerlessness that my addiction and my untreated obesity represented, the things that I overfed. So guess what happens when you end an unhealthy relationship with something or someone? Okay, so think about that in your life. What happens when you end an unhealthy relationship with something or someone? You start to panic. You start to doubt yourself. You start to question the wisdom of your rash decision. You start to believe you were foolish to believe you could ever live without it or them. You fight the urge to go back. You fight the arguments that other people give you for leaving. They say you should just go back, but on your terms. They say it wasn't as bad living with it as it is now living without it or them. And you strongly consider just giving it a trial run. You say, I'll just visit them. I'll just have a little. I'll just eat one bite. And you say you can leave anytime. And before you know it, you're back with it. Sound familiar? Sound familiar with a life of untreated obesity and food addiction or any abusive relationship? Does that sound familiar? So the way to stop that is to stop it. I know, there's that logic again. But once you decide you will live without X, fill in the blank, you live without it so you can figure out what you're really hungering for. Do you see the absence of that thing, that obsession, that thing that was clouding your vision, that thing that you focused all of your attention on? Okay, the absence of that thing, I don't want to say forces, but allows you to focus on the thing you were trying to feed with that. And there it is, front and center. Can't deny it. It is there. You can start to figure out what you're really hungering for, what you were really trying to feed every time you overfed it with X. And you realize that even when you overfed what was eating you up, and this is very important, even when you overfed what was eating you up, it didn't stop you. It didn't stop it from eating you up. So even when you overfed it, it didn't stop you from eating you up. No amount of food ever did, and you know it. As a matter of fact, because you ignored the thing that was eating you up, and because you were overfeeding it, it festered and it infected, and guess what? It began to expand to other areas of your life that you now overfed because you were so eaten up. That's what happens when we ignore the stuff that's eating us up and we instead overfeed our hungry heart. So not feeding what's eating you, not feeding that whole without thing, allows you to see it for what it really is, and often we don't like it. Of course not. That's why we fed it. Because it might scare us, or it might anger us, or it might confuse us, or hurt us. Okay, but our job is to show up without that diversion. Our job is to show up and deal with it. Yep, got to face it. If you don't like it, can you do anything to change it? Can you change what you're doing, maybe? Can you change how you're perceiving it? Maybe you've been looking at and seeing it all wrong. Is it really what you think it is? You see, you get clarity of thought. You have the ability to sit still, to sit in it, and actually look around and see what's happening when you are not being distracted by the diversion of the pie and the chocolate-covered strawberries. By the way, that are sitting right here. I smell them. Of course I do. I got my finger sticky picking up the pie tin before the show, and I was like, oh my God. And I wiped it off, and then I used the hand sanitizer. I didn't lick it. See, that's what I would have done before. I would have licked it, and guess what? I would have been off to the races again going, oh my God, I remember how that tasted. Oh my God. Nope. So it's sitting here, and it's not beckoning me. It's not calling to me. It's not saying eat me, because I made the decision that I was not going to get into the ring with that. No way. So that's how I did it. Remember what I said? The way to stop the problem is to stop the problem. All right. All of this stuff I'm talking about takes courage. Big time. Honesty. It takes a genuine hunger to live in peace, not being ruled by your obesity or addiction. Do you see what I'm saying? I am not being ruled by what's in that sticky, icky pie tin, whether it's healthy, sugar-free, or not, because I know the lie that is. There's nothing healthy about that stuff, because it still has to have some sort of lard to hold the pie crust together, and it still has to have some kind of fruit, which contains natural sugars, and it still has to have some kind of everything that I don't need to make it yummy and tasty. So I will eat more of it. Yep. And I won't feel less guilty. As a matter of fact, I'll probably feel more guilty, because I will tell myself I was supposed to eat less. Yep. So here is my story. The past several weeks, months, years, I'm going to go with years on this one, have frequently been stressful and unpleasant at my day job. Like 10, 15, 19 years ago. Okay, I've been here 19 years, and I fed the hurt and the stress and the pain and the fear that I had. And I pretended it wasn't that bad. But secretly, I wanted my employer and all the people around me to like me. And I wanted them to promote me and say they couldn't survive without me doing my job as well as I do, because I was so good at it. Obviously, I was working so hard and putting in long hours, right? So I wanted them to acknowledge that. Say, you're so good. You're so good at what you do. But I did not get that feedback. And so I ate and I ate and I ate to deal with the misery and the unhappiness and the sadness that I had and the deep-seated hurt. But I wanted them to say that they liked me. And I was afraid every time some vendor got into it with me and called me a bitch because I'd back down. I didn't want them to call me that. I didn't want them to think, oh, she's just a bitch. So I'd back down and say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you think I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm sorry if I came off that way. I really apologize. I had no confidence, no belief in myself or what I was saying because I was fat. That's what it always came down to for me. I was fat. So how could I argue? How could I stand my ground? Now, I realize this is not the thing that eats everyone up. I get that. We all have slightly different stuff that eats us up, that we overfeed, okay? Some people don't have that, didn't have that crushing lack of belief in herself like I did. You guys, some of you say, well, look, my weight has no bearing on how I deal with people. If they have a problem with it, that's their problem, not mine. That was not me. Okay, I did not have that level of confidence about my weight. It got in my way, and I believed, because I let it kept me from being happy and doing the things that I wanted to do. That was the literal elephant in my room. So I backed down because I had that no confidence and I was fat. But once I began to lose weight, people began to treat me differently. Okay, that was good. Until it wasn't. Because you see, the honeymoon was over. People were used to seeing me like this, and now, oh well, that's just Cari. And the novelty of my weight loss wore off for everybody. And once I gained confidence, I had new power that I never recognized before. That power included not being afraid of someone calling me a bitch. It happens. It involved not being afraid to stand my ground for what I believe or to defend those beliefs, whatever it took, to stand firmly because I believe it and I'm worthy of respect. Okay, so they could call me a bitch. That doesn't mean I am one. I used to feed the fear, but once I stopped feeding it, even though that fear was still there, I chose to face it. And that is the point of this show. Living without something, seeing something, does not make you less than. It gives you the power to be more than you've ever been, more honest, more courageous, more serene, more healthy than you have ever been. Is that what Dr. LaMonaco meant when he commented yesterday? I really don't know, but it's how I took it. And I wonder if you see it that way too. Do you guys see that? You do have the power to live using whatever it is that you're using to overfeed whatever it is that is eating you up. You have the power to live without using whatever it is that you're using to overfeed whatever it is that's eating you up. Choose to live without, and I put that in big capital letters, and watch how fully you can choose to live. So, I lured you in with pie and the promises of recipes for healthy food. Did you stick around if you're new to the show? Or maybe people stormed off and said, well, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought this was about food. And all I see is just this face, and she's like telling me stuff that I don't want to hear. I'm so out of here. See ya. I can live without her. Well, maybe so. Maybe some people did that. Maybe some other people, those of you who had the courage to stick around, said, you know what? I see what she's saying, and I can live without that healthy pie and those healthy chocolate-covered strawberries, because I am using those things to overfeed something that's eating me up. And if I choose to live without those, then I can start living with peace. And that's what this is all about, you guys. So, let me look at what you guys are talking about. Besides, hi. I'll bet you guys have some strong opinions about this. What do you think? Somebody told me I should use puppies to lure you guys in, but I didn't have puppies. I just had pie. So, all righty. Mama's here front and center, and Jerry's back, and Sarah's back. My crew out there. Sounds belly interesting, Mama says. I love it. All right, and so you shared my video. Thanks, Mom. And we have some new folks joining us and some people whose faces I haven't seen in a while. I'm so glad you guys are back. Some faces that I'm going to see Monday night. I will be speaking in Orange County at the Orange Coast Memorial Medical Center support group. It's the bariatric support group. It's free. So if you are in the area and you want to get some really solid support, and I don't know, you want to meet me or hear what I have to say, I'm going to be talking about the shame of regain. So it should be a really good evening. It starts at 6:30. I'm hoping it's a full house. And I got these neat, I know it's backward. I can't do anything about that. I got these really neat postcards that I made just for the event. So if you come, you get a postcard. Yay! Talking about this show. So anyway, show up. I would love to meet you and see you. A few of you did mention that you were going to be there. I can put the address, out there somewhere on my wall if you're interested, but it is Monday night, February 20th, which is a holiday. So there's really no excuse for you not to be there because traffic will not hold you back. And my mom's coming too. So if you want to meet my mama, she's going to be there with her lucky eyebrows on. Okay. So that's my little announcement about that. I realized I hadn't told you guys where I was going to be. All right. So let's see. Oh, there's a face I haven't seen in a while. And you know who you are. You started the SoCal Surgery Brothers and Sisters group. I know who you are. Pizza. Hi, Missy. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Pizza. I live without that. And let me tell you, there are some times where I'm like, darn it. But it's not enough for me to throw away more than 3 years of saying no to it. But boy, sometimes there's some good pizza out there. I get that. All righty. Let's see who else is here. Yep, it's true. It's true, guys. I mean, it just is. And there's tremendous power in truth and logic because you don't have to put emotion into it. You just don't. It's either true or it's not. In this case, you look at it and go, you know what? When I'm around a healthy dessert, I'll eat more of it. I just will. I may finish the whole thing because it's healthy, and then I will feel twice as guilty because I ate twice as much. Who needs that? I did it. Healthy cookies, sugar-free cookies. I did it. Sugar-free ice cream, sugar-free popsicles. I did it all. I ate it all. Calcium bites, chewy bites. I ate. Someday I'll tell you the story. It's on a video out there in Gastric Bypass Barbie Land, I think. Yeah, the calcit chews. Bow, chicka, bow, now. I ate the whole entire 3 boxes. I ate 3 boxes in like a week, I think. And no wonder my bones hurt. And I hid them. I hid them from myself in my lingerie drawer. And I kept reaching in for them, like, just like, and I mean, I was like a bear trying to get into an ice chest in Yosemite, or like a crocodile. I developed like an egg tooth to get into them, like, because it was so hard to, I got good, man. I could almost do it one-handed. And I ate the whole 3 boxes that someone gave me at a conference. And he goes, take them with you. I don't need them. Here you go. Have them. I'm like, oh, no. Okay. Put them in my suitcase. They're home, gone in a week. Okay. So I can't be trusted around good tasting calcium. Okay. Maybe you're like me. Don't do it. Don't start it. You will regret it. But anyway, the point is, one day, like a year later, I found one in my lingerie drawer. This was before they were on my list. You'd have thought that I found the last jelly bean in the bottom of the Easter egg, the Easter basket under all the plastic grass, because, oh my God, I heard choirs of angels singing and like, oh, that was like the best tasting calcium chew ever. The point is, those things are supposed to be for your health. I found a way to make them incredibly unhealthy. So if you have a problem too, don't feel bad. You're not alone. You're not a bad person, but your bones might hurt if you do what I did. So don't start those because you won't stop. Okay, so that's my public service announcement. I'm coming clean. You know what? We're only as sick as the secrets we keep. Oh my God, not a secret anymore. If they work for you, do it. But if they don't work for you, put them on the list, man, and give them to somebody else because that is not going to end well. Okay, where was I? Oh, I'm like, I went off somewhere to calcit chew land. But anyway, hi, everybody. Oh, I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm like blushing now. That is hysterical. I feel the heat rushing to my face, and I'm like, my sweater, I'm like, woo, am I hot? Okay. Anyway, let's see here. You guys are talking. I just got an announcement popped up that Amazon did ship my foundation, so thank you very much. That's going to deliver today. Okay, let's see here. Everybody's talking. Ed's here. Hello, Ed. Formerly of Bariatric Advantage, who sells the wonderful tasting calcium chews that I am not allowed to eat. But he is no longer with them, but he is still a friend. And was it the pie that drew you in, Ed? Is that what it was? Or was it my threat yesterday of wearing something provocative, like only an apron or something? Anyway, and Kevin, you're here too. I'm glad to see the guys. Are you just here for the pie, or are you here for me? You know what? Are you here for the, what would I call that? What would I use? I'm like I can't think of the word, but something to do with pie. But anyway, a cutie pie. Okay, that's why you're here. Anyway, let's see here. Rebecca, hi there. So glad you made it. And Bonnie's back. Oh, I'm so happy to see your faces, you guys. And everybody's talking. You have puppies. I know, Diana. They are so cute. Maybe I could use those, like Puppy Bait, to get people to come in and watch the show. What time? 6:30 p.m. Monday night, February 20th, Orange Coast Memorial Hospital. Go into the main lobby of the hospital. Just to the left, there are stairs leading down. There's also an elevator if you need it. Go down to the basement level. That's where they keep us in the cave near the cafeteria, and you'll find us in the room. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Let's see. You're coming to the show. Well, it's not really a show, but let's just say it's a talk, and I can't wait to see you, Jerry. And I hope I see you, Diana. I wish I could be there. Oh, I wish you could be there too, Rebecca. We'll have to figure out where you live and see if we can't get someone you could carpool with. You could bring a puppy. I know. Oh my gosh, Jerry. I know, Jeb. Only the cutest pug ever. Okay. Yep, you did the same thing with the calcium. See, I'm just saying, do not make them taste good. Make them taste crappy, so I will not overdo it. I just get the capsules now, you know. You wrote out your list today. Yay, Sarah, so proud of you. Way to go indeed. My mom just said it. And Jessica, I'm going to see you Monday. And I am hot. Yes, well, you know, okay, thanks, Diana. Thank you for confirming. Hot flashes, man. Menopause. Menopause is a bitch. There, I can say that word because I've said it a few times on the show today, but really, there's not much good to say about menopause, except the fact that I refuse to gain 10 menopause pounds. Just telling you, so far, rock solid for the last 7 years. Same weight. Kind of gets boring, but everything fits. Okay, you're coming. Good. I'm glad to see you there. All right, guys. So listen, I have chit-chatted my way through the ending of this program. Probably lost a lot of people in the process, but I just want you guys to know how happy I am that you are here joining me, whether it was the pie or the chocolate-covered cherries that drew you in. I do hope that if you are a new viewer, you will come back and give me another chance and spend a little bit more time with me, because we try to have a little bit of fun around here, along with the seriousness, you know, firmly funny or something like that. But that's one thing about me is I will never sugarcoat the truth, because that is what got us here in the first place. So I hope you got something from the program. I am so grateful to Dr. Lanico for giving me this, you know, planting this seed of living without, and how wonderful it can be so that I can live with happiness and joy and serenity and courage and peace. So I'm going to leave you guys on that note. I see comments coming up. I'll respond to those offline. Thank you guys so much. Tomorrow we are expecting, what is it called? Category 4 storm Lucifer to hit Southern California. We are sandbagging the front of the house because you did see my live video broadcast from waist high water last time this happened. So I'll be broadcasting from home tomorrow if I have a signal, okay, because tomorrow's Friday. So we're watching for Tropical Storm Lucifer, Category 4. And you know what? 4 inches of rain, I believe them. So watch for me, you know, with my umbrella, you know, and raincoat. My cute little raincoat, I'll be there. So I will do my very best to see you guys tomorrow, but if I don't, you'll know why. All right, I'm going to sign off and remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, live without whatever it is so that you can live with recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I'll see you guys, hopefully, tomorrow. Take care. Bye.